Hey everyone, Mike here today with some thoughts here on train station renovation. I'll try and slot this video in kind of the week after I did House Flipper, because this is one of those games that's very similar in a lot of ways. So yeah, I've done the first two missions here. Or actually, well, technically the first three, because there's a how to play tutorial that I can look at. So yeah, I've done the first two here. I've not 100% completed the second one, and we could technically go back, I guess, and fully complete it, but instead we'll renovate this third station. But first, I'm just going to back out and look at my tool wall here. Is there anything worth upgrading? We can go a bit faster with the wrench. So yeah, you've got a bunch of different tools here. Each are kind of task specific. I'll go for the faster wrench. And let's go ahead and hop into this new mission here. So as you can see on the loading screen, there's a list of specific tasks you have to do. However, there's a lot of other bits and pieces you can also renovate. And so you're not forced down to do, one thing specifically. But anyways, yeah, based on kind of the overall look and graphics, it should give you an idea of what this game is like. I'm not saying that these games are bad by any means, but I wish they looked a little bit better. Because yeah, it's kind of fun, it's kind of nice and relaxing, but there's definitely room for improvement as well. So anyways, we'll start by just kind of sweeping up real quick. So you might have seen there I had the option for mixed or segregated, which weird language to use, but I had the choice of two different trash bins. Mixing up trash bins like this makes a lot of sense. Or separating out trash bins rather makes a lot of sense, because when you color code stuff, you get some money back, and you'll find that there's a lot of just trash bags lying around. And so as long as you can match the colors, put glass with glass, plastic with plastic, and paper and cardboard together, you're going to be paying for that container rental. But also, pro tip, you can then return this container for like $200 less than what you paid for it. So yeah, I don't know, money is used to do repairs. You're not necessarily paid much on the actual jobs themselves, but you do make money by just grabbing a lot of trash, throwing out some of these things that, well, they'll want you to throw out and replace. And yeah. Oh, right. Metal and plastic is together. How the heck is that plastic? But anyways, I could have gotten another bin there. And I guess for the sake of efficiency, that would have made sense, but whatever. We'll shuttle a couple of these things across, and then we'll look at doing the actual objectives after that. And yeah, I'll get an actual dumpster. I'll get the dumpster bin over there, I think. Let's see. Let's take a quick look here at what we're dealing with. Okay, I don't have much trash here. Oh, we actually don't have too much trash around this whole building. Yeah, we'll get the actual... Oh, that's not what I want. Get one of those there. And then we'll get the next bin here for some of the stuff that is hidden necessarily. So if you look at the bottom left corner, when you pick up trash and do some of that, some of the smaller stuff will immediately go into your inventory, kind of like that did. And so you'll slowly fill up some of the meters. Eventually, once you hit a certain threshold, and that being, 100%, whatever meter you fill up, you can then get one of the trash bags. And so if I fill up my cardboard meter, I'll then get one of those blue bags. If I fill out my plastic metal, I'll get the appropriate yellow bag. So anyways, this one's full. I could try and fill up some of the other objects. Let's see. Just go into normal trash. Yeah, I could empty it out, or I could just leave the stuff out here for now. And then what I'll do is I'll empty it out when I've picked up most of the trash. There's a certain amount of efficiency to where you don't want to necessarily spend the $200 to empty this out if you don't have to. But on the flip side, it doesn't really cost that much. So let's empty it out. Yeah, the fact that I'm getting 120 for anything that I deposit in there anyways. So yeah, for the sake of actual money value, you wanna try and recycle as much as you can, because they actually pay you to do this. Downside is that these smaller bins definitely do make it a little bit tougher filling them up. So anyways, something is flooded in here, so let's start by installing this pump. There's a pump in the back of the truck, which is what that green outlining is telling me. We'll grab this pump, we'll put it in the correct location, and then I'm gonna have to hook this up to whatever I'm supposed to hook it up to. Open all blocking doors. Now, the damaged door, so we gotta open it up. Oop. Oh, we got a flooded basement. That's cool. So that's gonna go to the basement, and then this one will presumably go outside. So as you can see, most of the mechanics so far are pretty straightforward. You're not actually spending a lot of time, doing a lot of crazy stuff. You're basically just hitting the checklist and the game's kind of doing its thing for you. So a lot of these damaged things, we're just going to dismantle them, get them out of the way. What's the basement looking like? Still... Oh, did I not start it? Oh, I did start it. Yeah, okay. It's slowly draining. That's fine. Yeah, beyond moving trash, we got a bunch of other tools. And so we'll take our brush out here. Oh, sorry, not the brush, the mop. Yeah, we can use the mop to slowly mop away at some graffiti that we have. You'll probably see that there's spider webs and stuff like that as well, so we can use the mop to clean all of that up. Anywhere that there's damaged masonry as well, we can paint over it. We can change the look of the buildings if we're into that. Despite not being part of the mission, it is something we can do. And yeah, stuff like little overgrowth and plants and weeds and stuff. That's all part of some of the objectives of just cleaning the whole place up. All these smashed up windows as well, I have to fix them up. Yeah, let's get this building nice and clean. Keep picking up all this crap. Right. We'll just leave the plant there, or the pump there. All right, so what's the next task? Okay, we obviously have to mantle some of this stuff. They're breaking off all these old crappy things. All right, so we're gonna have to paint the walls. As you can see here, all these walls are kind of in rough shape due to the flooding, I guess. So again, like cleaning, we just slowly paint it away. And so this is kind of one of those little things that with House Flipper at least, yeah, it's a bit nicer when you're actually actively painting over a texture. Granted, this is not a particularly fancy technique or anything, but it's a bit nicer than just having the texture overlay just disappear, which is how House Flipper did it for like cleaning surfaces and whatnot. You know, little details like that make it look a little bit nicer. But again, this game is, I believe, is much newer. Maybe a year or two newer, so maybe not that much newer. But then in terms of content, obviously you're comparing two very different products. This game doesn't have nearly as much content. There's only a couple of levels. You're not necessarily doing as much stuff either. So, you know, it goes both ways, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I wish these games were a little bit better, because I think they're pretty cool and they're pretty satisfying in a lot of ways. They also have a lot of room for improvement, to where if they were able to improve what's there and really make something kind of neat and special, yeah, they're not too far away of just hitting absolute crazy success, or like, you know, much wider appeal. Because like for me at least, I find some of these games look really low budget and kind of ugly in a lot of ways, and it's unfortunate because the engines that they tend to run on, like they tend to use Unity or whatever, like the features are there. They could totally make this look a little bit better if they wanted to, and it wouldn't necessarily take too much effort to do that. But I don't know, at the end of the day, they made some decisions and that's kind of what they ran with. Now things like this doesn't just, yeah, that just doesn't look great, you know. A bit of ambient occlusion would make it look a little less rough, a little bit less harsh on the eyes. Yeah, just making some of these elements maybe a little bit more embedded in the world than being kind of just, I don't know, loose objects that they found. Yeah, I guess I guess that's also worth pointing out. A lot of these games also tend to use just generic asset libraries and stuff out there, so that doesn't necessarily help their case too much. But look, if you've got a great idea and you can execute it on really well, then it doesn't really matter, right? You've got a lot of people who like these games and love to spend hours in them, and so that's why I'm not necessarily against what they're doing in here. I'm not necessarily saying it's bad. What I am saying is I wish it's a little bit better, because yeah, I kind of like this. It's kind of fun and relaxing and all of that. I feel like with a little bit more work, maybe this could be a lot more interesting. But anyways, with that said, trying trash a couple of these things. In case you're wondering, again, I know what to put where because in the bottom right corner, right beside the number bar there of items, it basically shows me what goes where. So anyways, we've done our primary objectives to get this place up and running. You might notice that there are these little circles on the ground. And so each of these circles are just kind of there to tell you, like, hey, there's something to do inside of this room. So despite finishing the required objectives, we still have more than half the level to do. So just grabbing trash like grabbing trash like this, putting in a dumpster. It may not make the percentage necessarily go up until I empty it. That is part of the progression. Fixing all these windows up, grabbing all the glass bits. That will make the percentage go up because we're actually fixing things now. Oh, there you go. We've hit our first of many stars. But yeah, what I was gonna say is these little circles there, what they're trying to tell you is that there is a kind of a set amount of items that they would like to have inside of this station. We're on the dock here, on the platform. Again, a different amount of items, as you can see in the bottom right corner. And I think the basement also had its own list of things, didn't it? Yeah, so like a little office down here. So let's see. Let's take some items that I've bought in the last level I couldn't fit. That probably goes on the station. We'll put this... these plants are big. Plant there. Get ourselves a chair. 2 benches and chairs, and 6 furniture. So buy 2 of these chairs, and then for the furniture, I'll get like 2 desks to start off with, and then we'll add a little bit more from there. So let's do 2 modern desks. Let's fit these. Once we fit these, we can start placing other stuff around them. So yeah, you're kind of free to decorate however you wish to a certain extent. There's no restrictions or anything like that. Well, there are some restrictions, as in there's a list for me to follow, but I can buy anything from within that list. So for the trash cans, I can use anything. I can use tiny office trash cans. I can go out and... Actually, these are pretty big. Yeah, I could have bought the smaller personal trash cans. I can buy giant outdoor ones. Whatever you want to buy, you can kind of just put in whatever. Electronic equipment. I don't know, we can throw on some laptops, I guess. Buy some cheap laptops. Maybe pair of monitors to go with them. And a pair of mice. I could have bought other stuff, but put the laptop, put the mouse. Big out. Oh my god, that's a big mouse. It works. The mouse kind of goes a bit better with the keyboard. You can build a desktop computer in here. Well, you have the option to put a desktop computer down. And the tower for that, the computer tower is pretty big. But anyways, that's this game in a nutshell, I suppose. I don't know. It's good enough, if that makes sense. Like, there's room for improvements. It could be a little bit more interesting, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, people buy these games and love them, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Because yeah, ultimately, you play whatever you want to play. Like, whatever, I don't care. I'm not gonna tell you what to play. I just wish this did a little bit more. Had a little bit more effort put into kind of on a technical level, because it would make it stand out a little bit more and make it seem a bit more interesting than, say, some of these other, you know, almost throwaway style games. Like, you can see there's the reflection on the trash bin there. Pretty cool. You know, you can get a hint that there was some effort put into this. And yeah, making games like this is not a trivial task anyways. Alright, 2 more decorations. We can put plants, we can put those boards, we can put an exit sign. Let's do that. We'll put an emergency exit sign and a Christmas gift. Yeah, we'll just put a gift on that desk, and there you go. We've completed this basement area. So yeah, that's Train Station Renovation. It's not terribly expensive on Steam right now. It is 55% off, which makes it, whoops, I have the wrong tool. Which does make it the lowest recorded price. Funny enough, it is 11.15 Canadian, or like 8.34 US. It's a weird price. Yeah, 8.54 US. So I don't know, I guess that makes it a 19.99 game, something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Give it a look, give it a go. If this is your kind of thing, then great. Yeah, this is one of those games. It's not an exceptional one of those games. It's certainly serviceable, enjoyable. And if you didn't have a huge backlog like I did, then yeah, you might stick with it longer than I will. Having said that, happy to have played it, happy to have done this video. And if you guys enjoyed that, I'll come back next week and we'll have another upload following this one. Also, let's just smash this bathroom down and build a new one. Also, yes, let's destroy the brush. Cool. Alright. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next week.